The Chinese Grand Prix is over. They waved the magic wand, pulled the rabbit from the hat, and expected us to clap. 2 races in, and the masks are already slipping. Now that the circus has left China, let the paddock rock!
Wow!
So who won? Kimi? Lewis? Ferrari? Well, the real winners today were Domenicali and the suits at the FIA. Just when everyone is ready to give up on these 2026 regulations, we arrive at the perfect track to hide the disaster. Unlike Australia, Shanghai is the complete old-school package. Drivers love it because it has a bit of everything: technical sections and agonizingly slow corners. Good for recharging, so the batteries are less of a problem. Add Ferrari to that. The fight for third was a great show, the complete show, lights, smoke, the lot. Almost made us forget about these miserable regulations. The fans see cars changing places and fall for the illusion. Yes, there's some racing out there, but God knows what's actually happening behind the wheel. Even Matt Bishop, with 30 years of experience, said it. F1 2026 is so complex that many insiders do not understand it. And the broadcast directors know it. Have you noticed they've stopped showing onboards at the end of the straights? They cut away early. Why? Because they are terrified, you'll notice the drivers doing massive lift and coast or running out of battery. They are hiding the fragile situation. But we still have eyes. And if you watch closely, you saw that Ferrari is the only one giving Mercedes a headache. Well, a tiny headache. A tiny headache produced by a tiny turbo. Think of a bicycle. If you start from a dead stop in a low gear, you launch instantly. Ferrari is making everyone else look silly when the lights go out, and they're exploding out of the slow corners. But halfway down a long straight, you're still in that same low gear. Your legs are spinning at 1,000,000 RPM, but the turbo just runs out of puff. That's why, after some laps, those Mercedes disappear over the horizon. Speaking of the elephant in the room, I warned you during testing in episode 1. Who's already writing the excuses? During pre-season, George Russell went crying to the media, calling Red Bull's advantage scary. Then Toto did what Toto does best, keeping up his seasonal tradition of calling Red Bull the benchmark, this time because of their energy deployment. Toto is the guru of diversion tactics, so when he denies something, you can bet your house on the exact opposite. I'll give the FIA one compliment. Remember Hamilton getting disqualified here in China last year for plank wear? Well, that won't happen again now that the porpoising is dead. And while we are handing out compliments, the previous race was plagued by virtual safety cars. This week, race control made the right call. Right, time for the souvenirs. I'm glad we could split the Troll of the Race award in half today. Alonso fought very hard to win it back-to-back, but we have 2 other contenders who truly earned it. First half goes to Ollie Bearman in 5th. His strategy? Just survive to the chaos around, waiting for the cars ahead to self-destruct. Peak opportunism. And to top it off, he swore on telly and looked absolutely terrified of his PR officer. Respect. Second half goes to Cadillac. 4 drivers did not start the race, and 3 more did not finish it. Cadillac's strategy is the best one so far in 2026. Just stay on the track. Today, they were actually faster than Aston Martin on pure pace. But to be fair, being faster than Aston Martin right now is like bragging you overtook a piano.
Wow!
So, jokes aside, looking ahead to the rest of the season, I think we, as fans, have a very clear collective wish list. A real championship, no more hiding the telemetry, a grid that manages to start the race, and a bloody miracle for Honda. Let's hope there's an actual engine waiting for them in Japan. Alonso, I suspect, would quite like to finish a race with both hands on the steering wheel. And that takes us to Suzuka in 2 weeks. It shares a lot more DNA with Melbourne, meaning it's going to be much harder for them to keep up the charade and mask the propaganda. I'm very curious to see what trick the FIA tries to pull on us next. Put the kettle on, and I'll bring the biscuits.